Good morning and welcome to another edition of All or None According to Jack with your host, Jack Toledano. So it has been a couple weeks since you've seen me. At least one person reached out to ask me if I was okay. Thank you very much for that. So basically, um, I've been taking some much needed R&R and trying to enjoy my summer. And as you could see by one sign above my shoulder, I'm upstate at my lake house, up in the Adirondacks, where I've been for the last 2 weeks. Uh, Probably will be here for another week before I head back to Long Island for a little while. We'll see. But you know what? As you can see behind me, I put a lot of hard work into this, so why not enjoy it? Yeah, and occasionally have a drink once in a while. So, anyway, what I'd like to talk about for today, um, so with all these trips from, upstate, downstate, it's like a 4.5 hour ride, got a lot of time on my hands, a lot of time to listen to music. I thought to myself, and you know what? I'm never going to this channel is never going to be able to present what they do on over in the Prague seat on Sea of Tranquility, where all the meticulous talk about progressive rock music and whatnot. But I had an idea. Why don't I come up with a playlist that that basically sustained me through the whole car ride? So, um, pulling it up on my phone, I call this playlist the Prog 15 Plus Superlist. Yeah. So basically it's a list of mainly prog rock songs, some prog metal that span 15 plus minutes. Yes, if it's less than 15 minutes, I couldn't take it. I didn't include it rather. But we're going to talk about said list. I can find it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And there we are. So let's talk about some of the groups in this little foray. So, Dream Theater, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Flower Kings, only one Genesis song. I'm sure you know which one that is. There's even one Iron Maiden, some Jethro Tull, which I'm sure you knew would have to be in there. Symphony X would have to be in there. Some of these other groups. And let's get to it. So the first band, and let me tell you something. This list spans about. So let's see, how many songs are there? There's 57 songs, and then there's why the hell is that still on the screen? There we go. That's off. So basically, there is 57 songs, and this spans 19 hours and 43 minutes. Yeah. So let's talk about the songs. So first kicks things off with a band called Wobbler from Norway, uh, with a song called Claire Obscure from their first album, Hinterland. I actually met these guys back in, was it 2005, 2006, when they played at Nearfest in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I interviewed them. I was working with Pete on as a reporter slash reviewer on Sea of Tranquility. Very cool guys. Big, heavily into the keyboards. The Mellotron was a featured instrument for them. All cool stuff. And you have Renaissance, Song of Scheherazade, clocking in at 24 and a half minutes. Dream Theater, A Change of Seasons, an EP. from 1995. And basically, I put some of the years down so I can find these songs slash albums on Spotify. Focus, they who sing Hocus Pocus, uh, a song called Anonymous. Uh, Great multi-instrumentalist, Jan Ackerman, with the flute and the keyboards and whatnot. They were very deserving. Next, what you're going to see is you're going to see some blue highlights. These are some of the longer songs that I'm very familiar with before I put this together, and these are my favorites quite easily. Symphony X, Divine Wings of Tragedy. What can I say about this song other than the fact that it's heavy in spots, it's lush, soft in spots. There's a lot of tempo changes, which I love. Yeah, check it out if you haven't. Next, Van de Graaff Generator. Merglis 3, The Songwriters Guild. Back to Wobbler, From Silence to Somewhere. So Wobbler, there's actually 5 Wobbler songs on here, and some which are fully instrumentals, some which have vocals. Very interesting. They kind of sound almost like a Yes / King Crimson at times, but all great stuff. Back to Focus, the Hamburger Concerto. Back to something that I'm very familiar with. Rush, The Fountain of Lamneth. Great song. I like, and there's a couple of long ones on here. I like this one better than the Necromancer, so this is the one I chose. By the way, these songs, there's no ranking here. I just basically, in this little number system, things with a 1 I'm more familiar with and I liked a little better, so I tried to space them out so there's never a lull or never 4 or 5 of the worst songs or the less liked songs in a row. So and what I did was I used this randomization function. I'll show you what that is. So if I type rand, let's go there like this, and then you hit the OK button, it gives you a random number, and every time you hit the delete key, it changes. What you could also do, you could multiply it by, say, 60, and then you could rank, and you can randomize the playlist like I did. Get rid of that. Okay, Fate's Warning still remains. Spock's Beard, Jaws of Heaven, off the album X or 10. More on that album in a little while. King Crimson, Lark's Tongues in Aspic. Also, what I did was I took another liberty here. So if there's the same title and the songs are distributed, cut into parts and put in different spots in the album, I kept it. What I did was I basically put them together. So you have Lark's Tongues in Aspic, Part 1, 13 and change, plus Part 2, excuse me, Part 2, 7 minutes. Oh, hiccups at 6 in the freaking morning. Sucks. Yes, Close to the Edge. Soft Machine, Hazard Profile. Pink Floyd, Dogs. Flower Kings, Love is the Only Answer. Genesis, Supper's Ready. Porcupine Tree, The Sky Moves Sideways. Dream Theater, Illumination Theory. Flower Kings, I Am the Sun, Part 1. Marillion, Gaza. Back to Pink Floyd, Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Possibly one of the first I've ever heard long songs. This is a song that we used to, smoke a little weed, and listen to in college, back in the old sweet days. But at the same time, one of my all-time favorite long songs, Haken, the Architect, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Carnival 9. So you may wonder what this bracket is. So Friday night after work, and yes, I do work up here. It's not all fun and games. I am fully functional and able to do my job up here. And as you can see above my shoulder, there's my router and modem. Yes, I built that shelf. So this bracket here, after I got done with work Friday, right at 5 o'clock, I jumped in my car and I took the hour-long excursion to Saratoga Springs, which, by the way, is a beautiful place. You're ever in New York and if you ever like in Lake George and you need something to do on another day, head over to Saratoga Springs. I don't know if you like to play the ponies, but that's what everybody does in the summer. They converge into Saratoga Springs late July into the whole month of August and go play the ponies and eat some fancy dinners and so on and so forth. But anyway, for that hour drive, I needed some music to entertain me. So started with Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Carnival 9. Love it. Porcupine Tree, Anesthetize. Wobbler, Mary Macabre. This song actually had vocals. Flower Kings, Driver's Seat. Again, another one of my all-time favorite long songs. This song by Spock's Beard called From the Darkness. Again, it's heavy at spots, lush and mellow in spots. I could listen to that song over and over. Good shit, man. Dream Theater, View from the Top of the World, very instrumental in parts. I love it. Jethro Tull. I know they talked about Passion Play on in the Prog seat recently. So what I have to say about it is, it's they did this as a follow-up to Thick as a Brick. It's probably not as good as Thick as a Brick, but in spots, I think it's absolutely brilliant. As you can read here, I took a Passion Play Part 2 is what I'm calling it. It's basically everything after The Hair That Lost Its Spectacles. It starts with what they call the Forest Dance or the Pan Dance, and then, it goes to Overseer, Overture, and then Lucifer and Magus per Day, all those little passages that make up Passion Play Part 2. Check it out. Amazing stuff. Then we had Riverside, Second Life Syndrome, that played as I was heading back to my home later in the evening. Dream Theater, In the Presence of Enemies, that's where we ended. Yesterday, Marillion, Interior, Lulu. So then, another favorite of mine, Symphony X, The Odyssey. Tells the story of the Odyssey with, Homer and the Iliad. Great stuff. 24 minutes worth. You should check it out if you haven't. Mars Volta, Cassandra Gemini, Iron Maiden. Bruce Dickinson wrote a song on the Book of Souls called Empire of the Clouds, all 18 minutes, and even play some piano on it. Again, heavy in spots, lighter in others. This is their foray into a more prog metal. It's the direction they've basically gone in, and I don't know if they'll ever go back, but who knows? Flower Kings, Numbers, Rush, 2112, Temples of Syrinx. Sure you all know that one. Marillion, This Strange Engine. Yes, Fly From Here. Now, why do I know Yes, Fly From Here? Coworker of mine is a fan of Yes, and he actually lent me the album. about 12 years ago when it came out, and I liked it. It's I don't remember the singer's name, but I think it was the only album that he sang on, but good stuff. Liquid Tension Experiment, another one of those Michael Portnoy projects. When the Water Breaks, another all-time favorite of mine. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Tarkus. Some of the most incredible keyboard playing by Keith Emerson that I've ever heard. Awesome, awesome stuff. I was perusing on YouTube one time, and this guy wanted to emulate it, and he covered Tarkus. It took him a whole year to learn it, start to finish, soup to nuts, to be able to play it. Get all the what do they call, the sampling, so that it would sound right. Awesome. Yes, Endless Dream. Wobbler, Imperial Winter White. Steve Wilson, he who made all those great remixes of albums, like Jethro Tull in particular being one of them, and so many others. Raider 2. Speaking of Jethro Tull, there's the Baker Street Muse off the album Minstrel in the Gallery. Great, another great song. I Can't Get Out. Haken Visions, Spock's Beard as Far as the Mind Can See. Yes, The Gates of Delirium off of Relayer. Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick. So what I did here, I played basically all of side one, and then the very end, and this is something he used to do in concert, he would play about 12 minutes of Thick as a Brick, and then he would end it by covering the last 2-3 minutes of Thick as a Brick, going back to the reprise of Really Don't Mind If You Sit This One Out. So basically the reprise at the end. So I simulated that, took all 25 minutes worth. Yes, Awaken. Dream Theater, Octavarium, another favorite of mine. Focus, Eruption. Wobbler, Hinterland. Imagine seeing them in concert in this nice air-conditioned auditorium at a college in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I don't remember the name of the college. Might have been University of Bethlehem, whatever. But playing this whole 27-minute version of the song Hinterland, amazing. They only played 5 songs, but very long ones. It was definitely very interesting. Fate's Warning, The Ivory Gate of Dreams. Uriah Heep, Salisbury. More on them coming up. We shall talk about them in a little while. Not in this episode, but another one. And then round things out with Opeth, Black Rose Immortal. So 19 hours, 43 minutes, 18 seconds. Insane. So let's stop sharing. I am back. With my Judas Priest shirt while I talk about prog rock. So thank you for joining me. Again, I apologize for being away so long. I'm going to try to go back to once a week, but it's tough these days. I still have a lot of work to do here, a lot of travel going on, still keeping my 9-to-5 job right here, no less, as I mentioned. What else can I say? So tell me what your picks are. Which ones that I mentioned that you like? Which ones would you have included that I absent-mindedly didn't include? And who knows? Maybe I could add them to the end of my list if you give me some good suggestions. But they have to be 15 plus minutes. And as a reminder, this is called the Prog15 Superlist. So if you're on Spotify, you're welcome to go to my list, check it out, listen to it, tell me what you think. again, it's something that fills a huge void for me while traveling for 4 hours. uh, by the way, how do you like my clock above me? That's a nice expensive clock that I bought to commemorate the area that we live in. My wife thought I was nuts, but adds a nice touch to the to to our little home here. So I digress. Have a good one, everybody, and I will chat with you soon. Bye bye.